In a very short, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video. First, let me explain why this video came to life. This video came to life basically because the day before yesterday, which was the 25th, a cold front moved to Slovenia. The weather outside was cold, so they knew. They are very, very weather people. You have no idea how these people weather when they talk to me when I was drugged up about the weather. I'm not going to use MK Ultra anymore. This is stupid because this is... Let me explain to you something. Eventually from here I'm going to do that too. Let that be an entry of the end for these people. I'm going to give you a little bit background about hypnosis. Hypnosis, you heard about hypnosis, I'm sure. Subconscious mind. And you can read about that stuff. I suggest you to go and read about Rudolf Steiner. But that goes a little bit further into subconscious mind. The point about what they wanted me to talk about sounded like sophisticated. The highest profile ever MK Ultra case. The MK Ultra case, the MK Ultra and so on and so forth. Highest profile ever. Yeah, you know, when you lose 27 years of life on this crap, when you spend about 3.5 years at least drugged up 24/7, and you get at least 10,000 death threats and you're beaten up and back and forth, fuck that part called MK Ultra. The highest profile and this and that. It's a torture. It's the most sadistic criminal torture that possibly can be, because next to that shit, it's a forced joblessness, it said it, and psychiatry. And he goes to extreme. So that portion about this case, about the highest profile ever, and this and that, let's leave that stuff alone. American who was here, and I did film this. I filmed yesterday. The video is right here. It's about 540 megabytes. You can see this is the video right here. Let me demonstrate to you. That's what I'm going to be talking about. I have nicely explained on that video. So I'm going to keep this video just for the references anybody's going to have any doubts about. It says right here, maximum 100. And it got me by surprise. Because on the day, which was the February the 25th, as I mentioned a little earlier, the cold front moved through the Slovenia, through this city. And I decided to stay inside, indoors instead. And they knew I'm going to stay indoors, and they prepared themselves well. And the only thing I can do at this point in time, so that I'm not going to go and, because I did re-recorded the video, I created another video today. The only thing I can do at this point in time, I'm going to explain what American explained to me, so that we're going to end this stuff. American explained to me like this. Right here inside of this room. He stated to me like this: if you see this meter, if you're gonna see this meter, when you do it like this, and you turn this thing on, and you're gonna see this thing, which was the case, and it's not supposed to be like that either. It's not supposed to be like that either. It was not normal. But it happened all the time that I would place one right next to me when I would go to sleep and put one to charge. I didn't mention this because I wasn't sure. Is it because the telephone was on charge or whatever? But what would happen is it would go like this. It would go from, as soon as I would do this, it would go like this. And then basically this way down, right? So it would start... sharply the needle would start to rise, and it would go down here all the way to 100. 100 is a maximum that this thing can demonstrate as far as electromagnetic radiation. If you're going to see this rapidly going like this, he said, that's no good. I didn't want to take a chance, and I didn't want to say this to anybody, and I wouldn't want to go and video record that stuff either. But that happened frequently, whatever. But yesterday, I recalled, the day before yesterday, on the 25th, I recalled, he told me, however, if you're going to go and you're going to turn this thing on, and you're going to see, you're not going to even see the needle going around like this, but one is going to be, you're going to turn one on the phone, and the one is going to be already on 100, and you're going to hear ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. That's definitely because they exercised attack on you. Electromagnetic attack weapon was used on you. Joe Biden told me that kind of stuff is going to happen to you only a few times, and then it's going to be the end with you. That stuff will seal the fate for you real fast. I think it happened quite a few times. I'm sure it must have been when I did not use the phone, because for the most part I wouldn't even use one, because I figure out that's stupid, because every time, as I stated, you go and almost every time, not every time, but you go and you just see this stupid needle going 200, and you hear this da 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 da, and there's nothing you can turn to. And so, but this time, because American told me about this stuff, he said, if you see this already here down, that's definitely because the attack was done. And because I recall the words from Andrei Uhl. I recall the words from Andrei Uhl when he told me, he said to me, when I do the stuff like this to you, you're finished, you're done. I do it a few times, you're done, you're dead. I asked him instead, he wanted to know, what are you going to do, this and that, when I was drugged up. And I didn't frankly know what the hell was he was talking about, and I wanted to learn, because it was a doctor, a physician, Igor Kot, our neighbor here, who was also present on opportunity. And he would not even step in front of me anymore, because I grabbed him under MK Ultra twice, badly. He got away with it, but he was smart enough to never walk in front of me again since. He always would have somebody he would interact with me through. So he would use another person as a proxy. And definitely whenever he would be present, he had Andrei Uhl next to him in case something could go wrong again. So I answered to him on a question, what would I do? What would I do? I don't know. I wanted to ask what exactly, because what kind of impact did this electromagnetic stuff have on you and this and that. So I asked, what about if you drink a lot of water, a lot of liquid? And it appeared to me that it was a good one, because Dr. Igor Kotar, when I asked him that kind of question, did not I didn't touch. He would not even respond to me exactly on a question, but I felt it was a trouble. I felt it was no good question. I felt it was bad. Yeah, I think that if you are attacked with electromagnetic weapon and if you do consume large amount of liquid, I think that because it does have impact on your cardiovascular system, and I think that if you increase actually the flow, the pressure inside of your system, I think that you probably even normalize that pressure issues back and forth. You go out and you somehow go about it. But I think that if you don't consume enough liquid, which was a frequent recommendation of Prince Harry, he also confronted about garlic. He had a problem with the garlic. Garlic, he insisted with Queen Elizabeth too. They didn't like garlic, that modifies a DNA and this and that. That's bad for you. That shit actually modifies, I don't know, DNA or something like this he was dreaming about. Maybe, I have no idea. But I'll guarantee you that the water, as far as cardiovascular health, the liquid, whatever it is, the liquid, it's good for you. You may want to avoid salty or sugary heavy liquid if you have a cancer, if you're a cancer patient, if you have a problem with the cardiovascular stuff, whatever. But consuming good amounts of liquid, I think, eventually will keep you going, even through a really, really bad times, with at least, I'm going to say, a minimal damage to your muscle, to your heart, basically to arteries. Because what I think, that's like the main idea about this electromagnetic weapon. I woke up on the 25th, on the night from 25th on the 26th, that's basically yesterday, I woke up with a headache too. It wasn't pleasant. And just as I stated, when I saw this here, this thing here already on 100, without even going, anywhere, which usually is the case. Usually it would go like steep like this up, but this time it would be already on the other end. I recall the scenario from, I don't like this idea about MK Ultra. That's a crap. That's a regular bullshit. Let's just put it this way: from torture. That's what I did. Interesting enough, don't know how that happened. Parents went out, and again, the same thing repeated, basically, which I have here on this video. Not that the same thing would repeat, but as I pick up the phone, I'm sorry, but it just happens like this, that you don't somehow, I don't know how they get this, how they catch off guard. You just don't record. And when you don't record, that's when you get hit. That's how this video came to life, for me to explain to you. And yesterday, it was a beautiful weather, and I spent one indoors, doing this shit. And it's right now 4:40, and I can finally go, and I can do this stuff. I can finally go and burn this movie and get it done. It's about 2 hours long, and as much as it was a really good video I did yesterday. I produced some other one too.
Things other stuff. Yes. What the fuck is happening here? Have you ever heard of anything like this?
I decided I'm going to go and present you with another one today. That's all. The rest, it's all going to be about motion detectors. It's all going to be about motion detectors which trigger lights. And it should be quite interesting. Because the whole scenario was dedicated to me, with idea to eventually push me in a really, really strange world, throughout which I would claim on how even the tunnels are under our home a total crap. Now, I'm going to say to you something. This 27 years of life that I spent dealing with the idiots, I'm not going to say incompetent people, but really insane people. Bad people, and that includes my family. I don't have any compassion for anymore. This is enough. I'm going to say to you something like this. I'm going to tell you like this. Hypnosis is bad enough. Hypnosis when I was a kid, I came across a book from Rudolf Steiner about subconscious mind, how it all works. And, you know, when I went to United States of America, I had no fucking idea that's going to be actually a book that's going to save my life. Yes, because I understood about already as an eighth grader, I understood about the subconscious mind. That it's not only about, I was fascinated about the brain processing information, how the brain is processing information, and realized that how fresh we are in the mornings, after going through the certain material, you study, and it's a lot of information, and just I couldn't understand how come, as a sixth, as a seventh grader in the school, how is all this shit coming, and it always makes sense. It always gets together, all this stuff. And so I reached out by coincidence, by pure coincidence. I was interested in a human mind, and I reached out for this book on this shelf in the library here in the school, in a grammar school. It was not a grammar school. No, it's a grammar school. It was, actually it was a city library where I did go and get this book. And I was so fascinated with this stuff that I would go and read one over, because I wanted to understand about this hypnosis. A long time ago was this stuff. The world was just changing completely, and as a young kid, the kids read this kind of stuff. I wanted to know about how it all functions, okay? And so I got slight idea about a subconscious mind, and that's pretty much what is exploited under this so-called MK Ultra. It's basically mind which should rather be used in a productive way to process information, organize information for one to operate, I'm not going to say normally, but as efficient as possible. But in this case, when you are drugged up, when they drug you up, for things to get even worse, I have received over 10,000 death threats, beatings, abuse of all kinds, impossible to explain. Spent 3.5 years drugged up in really completely unbearable situations with dealing with the really mentally ill people, because these politicians are everything but sane, and you can see what's going on in Ukraine and elsewhere. And so just considering, hypnosis, is it real hypnosis or is it not real? I'm going to leave this up to you. It's real. Hypnosis, that's something that's actually like a motoric almost type of like a reflex, a response from the brain that somehow, and how, I'm going to explain to you. If I get you, because I am capable to explain to you, because the hypnotists also were involved in this case. It was also like this, that it was people that were hypnotists, and they explained me how, in many ways, I learned a little bit from one, a little bit from other, or when I was drugged up, how it's all done. You get one by one, and you drug these people up, and you teach them, when they are drugged up, to respond on a certain move. And they comply, and they comply, and they comply. Not there is a chance, but almost a certainty that if this person comes to you in real time, and you do stuff like this to him, and you tell him sleep on that command, that he's going to fall to trance. And in my opinion, that's what you see in this mass hypnosis in this audience. I think they're all a bunch of MK Ultra piglets subjected to prior, if you like, in a parenthesis, MK Ultra stuff. That's what I basically came to in respect to hypnosis. Now, hypnosis, you know, hypnotists can pretty much do anything they want to do with a person. I learned the difference between just how far what can be done with a person, and I can tell you that when it comes to mind, mind too can become jammed and totally responseless for manipulation against one. Mind become hacked. Did my mind ever became hacked? I responded, believe me, as intelligent as possible, but even as intelligent as I responded to certain provocations afterwards that followed on me, it actually didn't even matter, because in 2013, when my parents, my father, therefore, Dr. Igor Kotar and his wife sat right outside here, and I was doing my stuff, my videos, and they brainwashed me prior to that stuff, tortured me, tormented me, and anticipated, awaited how I'm going to come out and stress them my issues. I avoided whatever they demanded from me, but just coming out and asking them to please go, to leave, resulted in hospitalization. And I was not even the one who was really abusive. These people were abusive toward me. And it didn't matter, because I'm going to say psychiatrists didn't write this stuff down. Whatever they wrote down, it was like you would go to the Stalin and you would have few people and they would just fucking assemble whatever they wanted to assemble. Included in that, on those lies, other lies about how I communicated at night with Germans and with the Nazis and all kinds of stuff like this that never ever happened at all. A whole set of lies, crap, father that, I don't know, that I was physically abusing, and mother and father and so on. So it didn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter, because they assemble, it's enough through your case, they assemble people that will seal your fate, that are willing to go and get you killed. As Milan Kuchan referred to me, you are dead, buried, you dead walking man. In 2013, he used to call me like this for 2 years. He couldn't break my spirit, even when I was institutionalized and so on. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter whether, it can have impact on you or it doesn't have impact on you enough to get you in trouble. These people get you in trouble. And in my case, they insisted against me for no less than 27 years. So if hypnosis is a bad shit that can do to the person, imagine being drugged up 3.5 years at least, in my case I was, and dealing with the animals. Really, these are below animals, people. You're going to hear me talking about ongoingly, and pushing you through other issues into this kind of world. I don't know. Even if I would go and I would state that there is a tunnel, there is that the Martians landed on the roof, or whatever I would say, it would make, really, it wouldn't even if I would say this shit, it would make me insane, because of the degree of crime, because of the amount of crime against me, because of the type of the people involved against me. It would not make me, even under those circumstances, would not make me insane. No, there's no fucking tunnel. Let's go to the video. I'm heading toward this sign here, because this, basically, that's going to give an overview when the lights would start to trigger itself already as I would be approaching. So this is 90 meters, and you would already have right what you see right there. Again, it's snowing right now, and that's a good thing, folks, that it's snowing. Today is February the 27th, and that's a very good thing that's snowing, because there's no fucking flies. There is no, I don't know what flying around in the morning hours, early morning hours, or early evening hours, or across the night. At this time of the year, that's not the case. This is stuff they have talked about. They're going to use it as an excuse. The screen is wet somehow, and it's blowing the wind, so I'm going to proceed. But that's already the house that you see right there. Let me see this. Wow. That's the house right there. Yeah, I am not, it's not gonna work. It doesn't do. I don't know how, I don't know why, but that's the house right there, and that's our house right there. I'm gonna go ahead with a computer and simulate this. This is where the lights already would trigger, and where I was at the sign, also the house in the back that you see right there, also the lights would be already triggered. So you would have two lights right there. Then the next thing that will happen is, you see the house right there behind, that's a Berger's house. That's where the lights would trigger too. As I would come to this sign here, boom, you would have that one that would also trigger the lights. Dobar dan. As I would turn inside here, okay, and proceed, you would have lights there, you would have lights there, so everywhere pretty much lights. Let's go inside here. This is what you cannot see on those evening videos. I pretty much have demonstrated the households where the lights would turn on, but what I want to demonstrate to you this time this is our house here, so I went behind the house. Is that light right there? That's on our house. That's what mother stated. If you go, you know, if you're gonna be good, if you're gonna be a good boy, basically you're gonna keep your mouth shut, whatever the fuck we do to you, for whatever. I was brainwashed on a million occasions by Dr. Igor Kotar. Is going to put my father and my mother in a jail if I'm going to talk about the stuff they will do to me. So that I'm just going to have to bear, keep quiet, and that's about it. Water sewage, and I understand there's a meter. This is supposed to be for the water from the other bank of the river toward the village. This is what the man insisted me made a tunnel to his workshop in the back of the house, all connected to it's not open, okay. Basically all connected to this here, on how I'm gonna have to, that's gonna be all my job to investigate, remove this and go for it. And this and this supposedly will be connected all the way to that side, that's in the street where I head right now, and behind that street and that will be my job, and that there is other locations in the house. Have you seen it? I have seen it. Americans also bragged about this bullshit because it's an important thing, folks. Let me demonstrate you something. Remember when I told you about American Uncle Toms? Do you remember when I told you about American Uncle Toms, about Mike Tyson, when I told you about Dwayne Johnson, when I told you about all these Hollywood clowns coming to this place? These are Uncle Toms. They're people, the rappers, 50 Cent, Dougie Dog, Snoop Dogg, Big Boy, Evander Holyfield, Uncle Tom's. That right there, that's a company that claims makes about $1 billion in trade with the Russia. Pharmaceutical companies that. You remember when I told you about these guys, about their human rights? Let me explain to you something. A company, it's more than just a company. That's a company that financed crime against me. That's a company that got from Americans a machinery to operate, upgraded its machines, the pharmaceutical company. So one still operates, still is in business, because in '95, when with the fall of Soviet Union, our markets became greatly exposed to overtake from the West due to lack of technology, due to technology lagging behind the West. I was the one who was used for this company to upgrade machines. This is why it was so desperate. Then I was used for market purposes through the beatings, through the abuse. I was used for attack on Ukraine, just like Uncle Tom's with me, who did not know what the fuck they were doing. You see, Uncle Tom's, this company right here behind, violated international treaties with Serbia during the war on the Balkans. They supplied one, and with the weaponry and with the money. The weaponry went also from here. It wasn't only the medications and money. The weaponry from Novo mesto from here went also to the Russia. You remember the Chechen war, Uncle Tom's. Further, you have a war in Ukraine today. How do you think the war in Ukraine came about? Germany financed one. Germany couldn't go about and do the stuff like this. Look, Uncle Tom's, without your help and without that fucking company behind. Because that was the company that gave the reason for the Germany to also go about what other countries wouldn't. I told you that I am not a regular journalist. I'm not a regular person. There is a big reason behind why I am in a situation as I am. Uncle Toms that were coming to this city of Novo Mesto, my fellow Uncle Toms from United States of America, where I became a citizen in year 2000, naturalized citizen. They were not coming here for free. They were not coming here for nothing. These patrons of minority human rights in United States of America got paid for their share of problems in this world. They got to promote their human rights, even fake human rights, at expense of mine for the crime. Through the lies, through the torture, and through the lies, through the slander, without having any kind of physical proofs against me. They ruined my American citizenship, this Uncle Tom's. And they got paid well. They became wealthy. Oprah, Mike Tyson, all these famous rappers, hoppers in United States of America, they did. But behind it all, it was this thing here that I properly have described in this video just yesterday. You need to see that this here was what the company I have demonstrated you was all about. You see this here, British oil, gas, giant BP. It wasn't only German oil trade, gas trade, violations that burned world, not only the territory on previously USSR. This is the newest one. This is the one that Vladimir Putin personally told me is going to be used to bleed Ukraine after more occupation of Ukraine takes place. Let's basically see nothing, know nothing. Hear, see, know nothing from the West. They came here. They came here to collect the money. They collected good money. This Uncle Tom's. But the main one that capitalized on this crime, it was not a pharmaceutical company, and I have demonstrated you. That pharmaceutical company and myself were extremely, extremely beneficial to the man you see sitting next to Prince Charles. Because without me, Russia today would not be anywhere near as aggressive as it is. So just so you know that your human rights, the stuff you did to me with your lies, brought this world to knees. The first thing I want to clarify and declare is that what you're about to see, I was in fact brainwashed, drugged up. If you want to call this MK Ultra, you do whatever, be my guest. But to do something like this to a human being for so long, I wouldn't call this other than torture. That's what happens when you're hijacked, drugged up, hijacked, beaten up, death threatened, and brainwashed. In this case, just as I confronted them on MK Ultra, it didn't come to me clear when I received their instructions on how I'm going to have to describe about the lights triggered by motion detectors issues, so that anybody, for that matter, could pay attention to me from police and so on. That's crazy, because it's a police that did this shit. It's a police that does this shit. Yeah, they have the neighbors, but still it's a police that does it. It's a local director of police, Ogulin, and it was he next to a previous director, Olai, who was close to fired from here, from this regional police, and instead installed by Milan Kucan, I want to say Borut Pahor, that's apprentice from Milan Kucan, as a Slovenian director of police. So these are the things that I have to declare first, that to me, I confronted them about these lights, how they demanded from me that I'm going to talk about the lights. They came up with the theories about how the people are going to be coming inside of this residence, even through the tunnel. That was the neighbor right here, right across our house. His name is Dane Kolenc, who was involved in this crime since 1995. One of the first who got involved in this. It's always the people locally that politicians collect first, or at least one of the first that they embed in crime. They scan, they go over, they pick the people along the way, and select whoever is suitable for the crime, whoever basically is willing, even if it doesn't willing to share their views and so on. And so he insisted on one occasion when father paved the asphalt and they created here right in front of the house. I'm talking about like sewage, maybe a canal, so for the water, so it would it would not collect itself right in front of the house. And then on a second occasion when they were making here like for the water pipe from the other side that connects, that runs through, he also insisted, I'm going to demonstrate it to you, it's right next to, right here in front of the entrance. Again insisted, a meter actually it's inside, also insisted that he added to that a canal under so that he can access here household from within. Then they have other crazy theories which they would go, I know you see this as toward the city, I'm pointing out if this way would be city, but really toward this way because it's a camera, it's like this, toward a village, toward the street behind here. They also claimed me that they made a tunnel and all kinds of paranoia. Obviously this is a paranoia. They labeled me as a paranoid schizophrenic in 2013 based on complete lies, based on torture and on lies, fabricated lies. Denied me the right to the second psychiatric opinion, declined to even follow the order from the Supreme Court of Slovenia, which doubted, but at the same time would not grant me any kind of protection, anything. Basically just covered its ass. In case I would be stupid enough and somehow see it the Supreme Court way. Anyhow, bullshit. Supreme Court was in crime against me since 1995 in Slovenia when I was brought here. Its officials, everything, served no other than Milan Kučan here in this country. That's all there was. Borut Pahor and Milan Kučan. I'm not satisfied. Not with the police, not with Supreme Justices, not with anybody for that matter. First, I have to pay respect to myself as a human being, recognize what was done to me, what I have gone through, managed to go through, and, you know, it's my job to basically doubt everybody. So many people involved in it, and so much nothing. Today the whole world sees what's happening in Ukraine. Well, let me explain something. I was beaten up. Next to, for Slovenia, also for Ukraine and for Croatia and for everything else, for my views, I paid toll to these people. What these people today, he is Slovenian president who installed all over Slovenia. He has apparatchiks, anywhere from police to supreme justices and so on and so forth. So I ain't gonna see any way. I'm not gonna become a schizophrenic. All right. Based on death threats, if you're not gonna see it this way, and then it's gonna be like this. Fuck that. First thing, I'm a human being. That's all. It's okay if you're a politician, but I'm a human being. Next to that theory about these tunnels, this crazy tunnel theory, a really schizophrenic theory, because they didn't know how to get somehow something that would give them the ability to confirm a crime, a severe crime, to which Milan Kučan referred to as my being buried alive already, dead walking man. He referred to me in 2013 when they hospitalized me, based on lies. based on slender, on lice. Dead walking man, buried alive, no way, no chance to survive. That's how he referred to me as. They attached to that theory also a theory of how the lights in 2015, that all the neighbors, for my sake, this is what Miroslav Berger, for my sake, Miroslav Berger, for my sake, that installed motion detector lights, all of a sudden he presented himself like a righteous man. So that for your sake. And I said, how for my sake? All this shit under drugged up. These people, you don't fucking see them. These people are like a cockroaches inside. Like you don't fucking see them at all. They're inside their places. They are hiding inside. Like a neighbor here, police officer Metod Yerman told me, you're never gonna see me. Trust me, I never fucking see this guy at all. But whenever I got drugged up, there was a full house of them here. It was a completely different situation. But otherwise in life you don't see them at all. I said, how come that I was like thankful to him that when he said for me that he's gonna put this motion detectors, because under MKUltra they brainwashed on 1,000 occasions how they're gonna come from below and they're gonna enter through the door, how they're gonna with all kinds of stuff. The father that's gonna his asthma spray, that's actually gonna be some kind of a military gas inside, that they're gonna be pushing gas from under the door through the halls in a million ways. That's what they're gonna be doing to me. Attacking me with directed energy weapons. This shit went on inside of this slaughterhouse. That's what this place is. This is Guantanamo facility here. For no less than at least 25 years is where the paranoia inside of this home next to my parents went on. It's incredible what this place here is. It's incredible. Actually, this is a collection of the worst crime that happened, more crime like than anything else, than anywhere else. They threw me in those cells over there in Poland, selected places where they would also do the stuff. It wouldn't even come anywhere close to this household here, what basically here went on. I was taken through the villages, through the cities. It was all kinds of stuff that went on, but what went on here behind this walls, you possibly cannot imagine. So next to that theory, Berger stated that he also installed, there was some other neighbor, because I was told that he installed, he was the first one that installed a motion detector light, triggered light, and I was really pleased when he said, that's what we did for you. And I said, for me, really? And I said, yes, for you. And I was like, how did you do this stuff for me? So that, I repeated again the same shit, so that, so that they're not gonna be, so, when they'll try to, when they go to your to your location to do the under your room in the house to do this stuff at night to you and this and that, the stuff that we talked about, under MK Ultra, and I said, well, and I didn't even under MK Ultra when I was subjected to torture. I never ever took, even when I was drugged up. I would continue to dismiss these people, rate them in the face time and again as insane. And he proceeded forward. But we did this, I said, yeah, we did this to protect ourselves. And I was, how did you do this to protect yourself if you said that they're going to be coming and doing this kind of stuff to me, and you are going to have this motion detectors, therefore it will be possible they'll be seen at night when they cross through the area, right? Am I not correct? He said, yes, but you're going to say it's not, and we're going to have a proof from the city that it is, because we tied the motion detector system to the city. So they had the police officers that would patrol this area. They would take me aside and they would tell me, don't you even think about saying something like this, that somebody's going to your property or something like this, because it's going to be this motion detectors that trigger lights that neighbors have. They're going to be tied. They all have like the street. Did you see a public lightning that lights turn on at a certain time of the hour and then off, in the evening and then in the morning? That's exactly the kind of concept that's being used with this detectors, that they are actually operated even from the city. Even this kind of shit, I was told. I eventually believed that kind of stuff for just a little bit. That's actually till I realized that was not exactly the truth. That was not exactly the truth. Whenever I would approach from the city to this property in the evening, or even if I would go in the morning, I had no idea how, but the lights would just fucking keep blinking, 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 blinking. So impressive that I'm going to demonstrate to you. Right now I'm going to go to a map of this area here that will make me believe that really there is nobody that possibly could approach to this house in any way without being detected. In which idea was to push down the throat the theory about the tunnel. The schizophrenia theory they tried to incite in me through the brainwash and through the torture. Because the torture did go on. It was like this, that at night time I have audio recordings, the least, that can be heard when I sleep, that somebody is pushing through whatever. I'm going to put online that stuff at night. And just as it's instructed to go about and video record whoever is doing that stuff, this is just, it was impossible thing for me to do this stuff. It's impossible thing for me to do this stuff because obviously Americans say to me it's going to be all the phones. Your phones are going to have a camera. It's going to be, they're going to be surveillanced, whatever. Before you're going to be able to do something like this, turn the camera on, they're going to know exactly what's going on. You're not going to be able to do it. But I think it's far beyond that stuff. And so it's also something that I was referred to by American side that if can you do that, if you can do that, they literally fuck you like this. If you can do this, now that would be, because all this shit, all this crime, including the food that I supposed to learn. I just 2 days ago discovered why the bananas had such a bad effect on me. And I didn't know every time I ate bananas, I get fucking sick, like you wouldn't believe. And banana looked like completely decent without anything. But then I stopped following the bullshit from instructions from the psychiatrist who was involved in torture, Peter Kapshir, who said just the tip of banana you have to cut away because that's poisonous, but the rest is good. That's what they repeated me thousands of times. But once I dissected this banana and have seen that actually inside, everything is fucking rotten. On the surface, it was just like a little bit, but it was not a little bit. Inside, the whole core of banana was rotten. I don't know how the fuck they do it. Actually, how they did it, because today, when bananas again arrived here, they were completely normal. And that's something I was told the case is going to be. It's going to be like this until you're going to discover this shit, and then it's going to be gone. I told you there is more here than my phones. There is more here than, there is more stuff that's happening. But all along, because I ate bananas, they bring the cancer patients literally from the U.S. to evaluate the food, literally, from the U.S., from United States of America, cancer patients, and they were selecting what kind of food, what kind of issues they have a poisonous, deadly impact as far as food on their health. That's the name of the fucking game here. You understand? So, that's the game. That's what the Germans loved about it, Confucius. They talk about the Confucius. So it's going to be some kind of entertainment. And Lukashenko referred to this shit as hide poison, find poison game when you are a cancer patient. That's the game. That's the game. You go to a doctor here, they call you that you are mentally ill, that you are schizophrenic and stuff like this. They will not give you the fucking thing, the real results, because they obtained them already before when you were drugged up and so on and so forth. Involved in torture and so on and so forth. So that's the name of the game. They can do this stuff because they have people at European Court for Human Rights, in Strasbourg. They have people at United Nations. They have American side. They have Germans. They have French. They have Britons. They have everybody that covers their ass. So why not? Why not? That can be really as painful as possible and entertaining. Why the fuck not? But then on the other hand, when you think about it, I'm the only journalist, the only individual where you can go, to whose news site you can go and you can read the stuff that you can't see anywhere else. Stated straight in the face what the politicians, Western politicians, are hiding from the world, trying to play down human expectations, not only mine, but also of people that have impact on this nation and other Eastern European nations. It becomes evident that the Western world, next to completely controlled mainstream media, and what they even refer to as alternative news media, are two totally controlled, separate in perhaps ideologies, but still completely controlled issues. And there's no fucking pundit, somebody in the West, that would operate basically on his own. And this is what's called a free world. That's what a free world is. It's a tremendous price I paid for the stuff you read. That came to me with extreme cost, even that I'm completely cut from earning any kind of money, a fucking dime. just as I've explained today how this stuff was done. But anyways, they went step by step, gradually systematic, and create really through a sleep deprivation, torture methods. They aimed at idea on how I'm going to go and blast the theory about the tunnels under our residence that are used for the neighbors to secretly access our home at night and shit like this. Bad, crazy shit. Instructed on how I have to, once I see, I'm going to demonstrate to you, they brought me straight to the canals that the meters are, a sewage canal, and then inside the house that you're gonna see there also canals and basically brainwash me, not for hours but days, months, years, on how the people, the fuck, are coming here through. And if you're not going to point this on time and then, this and that and da. They did not stop with this motion detectors to trigger the bullshit in me in respect to the tunnels under the residence. But they went ahead to trigger even further this by removing a cover from the hall that you see on an asphalt just about 250 meters maybe from our residence in direction of the city. As you would go, you see that cover. They removed the fucking cover to remind me, for God's sake, for fuck's sake, man, that was initial theory, that there is a tunnel under the house. You better act fast, or, But on the side, an individual was also pulled me on the side and said, man, if you're going to say this shit, you're going to be rated as a paranoid schizophrenic. They're going to fuck you. They are digging you a grave. So I'm going to do this. We're going to do this stuff. So when you see this shit here, so that you can recall what we told you right now, because what's going on over there in your village, at your place, and they got these people initially with idea, so that I would come up with this theory. They told me they're no good, these people are no fucking good. They're digging you a grave. You're going to be in trouble. So you see, that kind of stuff, Miroslav Berger, Milan Kuchan, my beautiful neighbors, Dr. Igor Kotar, did their best to present me in as, I suppose, as shitty light as possible. This here, what you see here, this shit appeared. This was another issue that was used under MK Ultra. This is a reflector that I can see fucking bright, like a moon shining straight inside of the room here. Yeah, it's right where you have seen that hole right there that I demonstrated you. Is about 250 meters away. Is the man involved in MK Ultra that opened the business here, like for the farmers. And this shit was used under MK Ultra. This stuff was used under MK Ultra. This was used under MK Ultra. This also was used to trigger in me, as a psychiatrist, anticipated would be a theory related to a tunnel. Because this here that you see, right, this should cover, in fact, for me, it was all done for me, that's what I was told, this would actually help me, like at nighttime. This is with the infrared camera, but it's already in the morning that I filmed, You can see basically the light like this from my room. He told me, the owner told me, when they evaluated this during MK Ultra, they placed this, I think, on a might have been a pole over there already. I don't know, but I think I was told back then it was actually attached to the building right next to the old barn, the old storage also. And so now it's on the pole. But before, in a little bit, I'm going to demonstrate you. So this we're going to do for you. This was a theory next to this motion detectors they came up with. So as Miroslav Berger went further to tell me, he said, no, Miroslav Berger said, no, we're going to do this to protect ourselves as far as the motion detectors around the house. And I said, how? How are you going to do this to protect yourself? He said, well, because you're going to say that people are coming to you, and because we're going to have this motion detectors, and these motion detectors are tied to the city, we're going to have a proof that you're wrong, that something is wrong with you. And so this guy here suggested he's going to put this stuff once he places his business to deter anybody trying to access the property from the side of the city, because it will be so visible, plain field, and just like in the rear of the house, where also my mother pushed bullshit forward with a light, with a real light. She told me, my mother told me, that's something I didn't film yet, and I'm going to go ahead and film right now. But there is a light in the rear of the house. My mother told me it's going to be, if you're going to be good with us, yeah, if you're going to keep silent about the crime we do, if I translate, if you're going to be silent about the crime we do to you, this light is going to be on. We're going to pay for electricity. That's the type of the paranoia they push down the throat, so that you would go on with a theory about a tunnel. And so what you can see right there, this is really blasting the field, is just done in such a way that really, really covers entire field. This moon, basically. It's what it looks like at nighttime. You already have seen this. I did forgot something I was going to say to you, and now I forgot. And I'm not really sure what exactly I said. Yeah, I'm going to go film that stuff. That's basically it. What I'm going to do next, I already did explain to you all about this stuff. Maybe what I can do is I can also demonstrate you maybe the neighbor here. That's his residence. Yeah, that's basically his residence. But you're going to hear this on a video. In up front, next to the road, house. No, next to the road where I walk, house. In the back, there is like a little workshop. He claimed that he's got a fucking a tunnel right from where I demonstrated you, right in front of our house, all the way to his workshop. And as soon as you detect this tunnel issue, you have to go hurry. You really have to go hurry. Those are the instructions to me during when I was jacked up. You have to hurry up because mom is going to give me a signal, and you just have to hurry up to look for the place we're gonna go, if you're not gonna report this fast enough on the internet, the police is not gonna come. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna already take care of that, we're gonna cement this. They're never gonna be seen again, this tunnel. And they exercised through the torture again a paranoia on how quickly they cement. Indirectly, okay, it's like an indirect talk. You have 2 or 3 parties right in front of you. You're drugged up and they talk to one another. How fast were you able to cement that? And pushing forward, torture you with bullshit so that you would ask questions, so that you would maybe even challenge on how that stuff can still be fine or something like this, and get no, never. My neighbors are mentally ill people. Make no mistake about that. And I'm in a house with a severely mentally, criminally insane parents. And this house here was a house where the torture went on unobstructed, with visits that politicians along the top police officials have paid for no less than 25 years. Straight, I was drugged up 24/7 for no less than at least 3.5 years. I was drugged up. A lot of time inside of this house, where I was brought already from Miami, Florida, where I immigrated in 1995, since 1995, okay? So this is already 27 years of crime, which, despite psychiatrists who insisted me that I must not talk about this stuff, even was a psychiatrist involved who demanded from me to not talk about this stuff. No, that's what it looks like when you approach. And this is the morning. Okay? Hold on. This shit is, as you're going to see this, because I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to go ahead and record this stuff. This was filmed as camera presents at 7:32. There is nobody outside. There is nowhere anybody. The fucking lights turn on. But it gets even better. It's the same shit with other neighbors, with the burger his shit like this. That's crazy. It's crazy that from such a distance, his lights would also turn on. Without anybody. I would approach like they would already start to turn the fucking lights on whenever I would come back on a daily basis from the side of the city. Maybe from like a distance of 50 meters, I would already see all motion detectors trigger themselves all around the residence. Once I started to pay attention to this shit, and the theory just didn't go through, and I tried to record this stuff, the bullshit instead stopped. And I found myself in a world like this one. Let me demonstrate you this. This one somehow did go actually even very well through. There is no time and date on it. I'm going to give the time and date. I'm going to write down one anyways. But what came to me really as a shock was that there was yet another recording like this, and with a time camera, with everything, simply disallowing me actually to have the view on. Let me see. Okay, that must have been probably the one that. Yeah, I see now. Okay, that's right now. Because the hard drive is disconnected. That's fine. All right. you're going to see one recording, for which also I was told it's going to be, we're going to do it in such a way that if you're going to somehow manage to go and get this video recording, what you're going to try to do, now let me demonstrate this. That's because that's what makes the whole thing, I'm going to say, even crazier. This is out of such a situations that they would want it to trigger at all the costs that you would say something stupid and then basically be viewed as a paranoid. I was using the fucking torch, flashlight, if you like, this thing that you attach in the head, next to Android also that I turned on the light. It's just a clip. You're gonna see that you can't see shit. You can't see shit. Like they told me, like you're gonna be, if somehow you're gonna make it that the lights are not gonna go on, then we're gonna make it like this, like you did not. Nothing is gonna appear on a damn thing. It's gonna be completely black. A video. All right. So in other words, it's gonna be edited. It did happen. It's so. My telephones are shitty. They're no good. They really are no good. The telephone I was recording with is bad telephone, but it's not that shitty because it's a tape you're gonna see when it was raining, and I managed still to capture and cars and them and trash bins and everything to prove the point that no light detector triggered anywhere. Actually, motion detector trigger light anywhere. Yet it became completely pitch dark to the degree that I went yesterday in the evening again when I was going to do this video. Fuck that, I said. This is ridiculous. And I took two phones with me and went ahead with the two phones like this. Boy, there's another phone that I video recorded with, so that's really some shit would not go like this in case. Again, to capture, to prove the point that there is no fucking light detectors that would trigger light on people that would even walk next to the houses. All right. Now the area I am referring to, if we go here, is this one here. As that's basically what I'm going to do next. I want you to understand the whole point here. What is this? Well, what's going on here? Let me see. It's not going to demonstrate. That's okay with me. This is again the first thing I'm going to do. Obviously, this is in Novo Mesto in Slovenia is where this stuff is filmed. On the south you have Croatia. On the east you have Hungary. It says Mađarska. Then you have Austria right up north, and you have Italy here on the west side of Slovenia. And so if I zoom here to this city here and get to this village, which for the sake of the political correctness was already changed into a street Krka. This used to be village Krka. It pertained to a region here in the background. It's called Slotnik. Now it became part of the city of the Novo Mesto. This is so politically correct that they changed even the names of the streets and a village itself and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to take a screenshot to explain to you better so that you can understand, because I thought that this would be like the right thing for me to do, so that when you watch this clips, at least so that you understand what exactly this is about, right? So that makes point. That makes sense. So that's the residence, this house here I am filming from, basically this one here, okay? And, well, you would come from the city, it would be this direction here. This would be direction from the city. You would come already like 50 meters away from this neighbor here that you have seen. The light triggered by the motion detector. Yeah, it was a fly, it was a cat, it was a fuck. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to even apologize for rude, for a primitive language I used, because this stuff is so primitive that for someone with a human being on a level like myself, this is a crap. Excuse me. This is a second house where motion detectors also triggered. Then you have this house here where motion detectors also would trigger itself. And you have this house. This is what really got my attention. This is from Berger House, and here you have Peterlin. So when you would come like on a distance of 50 meters, and that's when I started to pay attention to this shit. It was really, really weird, this stuff. 50 meters distance to this house here. Already this house would trigger the motion detector. Then simultaneously with this house and with also this house. Wow, fuck. So that was quite, I'm not going to say impressive, but you understand the point here? It was a time when this house also would display the light, so that when you would come here and you would enter here on up front our house, you could see right here, you could see all these fucking houses around with motion detector on. All these houses around. All of a sudden everything was bright, man. It was like a fucking bright, like a daytime in the middle of the night. So for me to say, there is nothing else to say other than for me to go and also grab what you're going to see from the rear, which is this here, is also where mother told me. She told me, if you're going to be a good boy, right, and we're going to leave this light on. And she repeated this stuff to me under MK Ultra on several occasions, but she never ever would answer to me why. Because of course she wanted to look like good. She wanted to look like somebody on my side, but is not allowed to say. Well, she caused a lot of shit. So much shit actually that it's incredible. Today I have spoken to her about even about the poison, rat poison. She lives at the entrance of in a hallway of this house. She keeps leaving poison over there at the entrance, and when I confronted her, when I asked her, why do you have the poison stored at the entrance to the house? And she said, because she had no place. And I said, really? I said, this is a 600 square meter house. Because this house is fenced property. And I said, not because it's fenced property, it's a fenced property. That's just related to this motion detectors also issue. But related to the stuff I just mentioned right now, I said, it's a 600 square meter house with actually even what you can see here, another workshop here in another little house behind. And you have no place to store the poison other than at the entrance to this house. I mean, that's it. That's all there is to it. That's basically this stuff here. I am going to dedicate special video about this stuff.
Talking about the cyanide, my mother made sure that this box here would be here, and we face this thing like this. This is a poison.
Let me tell you, in this kind of environment, being humiliated, laughed upon, rather than assisted with the police, rather than to have a state apologize to you, issue apology to you, being scorned, met, aggravated by the people involved in MK Ultra who, rather than to admit guilt, rather than to admit previous encounters when you were drugged up, doubt about how you met them, where you met them, and this and that. Proven case. It's very, very, you go and figure out that's why this shit is here. Talking about depression here. If something would have been wrong with me, probably really, I would be the one that read. In fact, I did eat a lot of garbage food that she collected in the stores from special advices she was referred to bring inside of the house for this, for the sake of this. Find a poison game.
I couldn't figure out ever. And it's also something I was told by Peter Kapsch, the case is going to be. I'm basically repeating you his words now. I always feel sick after eating bananas. And you can see a good portion of banana here already is missing. And crazy as it seems, because it looked like this. You know. What's interesting is on the surface is almost nothing is like this. But under the surface, because this time I actually took time. Today is unfortunately February 25th when I did this shit. And I recalled when Kapsch told me, and some people in Tush, they told me in the stores that they will be creating bananas like this. So this is just done to make one sick. Look at this, and look at that. Already almost half of banana is missing, and you can see just how deep this, how rotten this stuff is. So this is not, this is deadly. It looks like this on the top. It actually looks good. I said the only thing I have to do, because this is how they brainwash me, bananas are very good for you. The only thing you have to do is take a tip off. It's because of the tip that you don't feel good. Now, actually, it looks like this, but inside it's like this. So how they are creating bananas like this, that's a good question. And this is the kind of stuff always made me sick. Okay, so this morning,
once I try with another banana, because there were two bananas, I see, because it looks just exactly the same as the other one, and I was stupid enough not to go and record a peel from the banana you have just seen right there. That's what makes it probably even deadlier, because with this banana, in a contrast to the one I have demonstrated you, nothing absolutely was wrong with it. So you have 50-50. What are the chances you're gonna eat one, eating one rotten banana with a cancer? Trust me, that's gonna send you back 2 weeks in time, if not more. And that's basically, a little bit here, a little bit there, and there you have it. From Great Britain, from Canada, from United States of America, did cancer patients, not only from Hollywood, they would come, inspect the local food supplies, see what bothers them compared to what their menus and stuff poison, what they encountered poisonous in their lives, and they added this kind of circumstances to protect crime against me in Slovenia. So I don't fucking know how my fellow Slovenian people, especially when they see the war in Ukraine broke out, so many dead people, how the hell how they go along with this kind of agenda. I don't get any of this stuff. Scary. It's my own people that scare me more than anybody, because they're my people here from Slovenia. That's what's fucking scary. I guess they got used to beatings, abuse, and crime against me inside of this residence. Maybe villages, cities, I don't know. They became addicted to this shit or what? That's how that's done. So it's 50-50, but it was just like this. On the surface nothing, but under the surface all rotten. Find the poison game.
More about bananas again. She does. I have no overview of what to buy, whatever I have to eat, whatever is purchased, and that's about it.
These are good bananas. This is what I filmed today, because the earlier...
How Peter Kapsch got about this, how he managed to do this stuff. Brainwash on this. The brainwash on this was to remove the tip.
You see this?
Because the tip is very poisonous.
The tip, it is very poisonous. It's
That's
very
what
poisonous. The
Just
tip.
you have to remove the tip. And this is what he brainwashed. That's what he brainwashed with. But on 2-3 occasions, they also brainwashed on what's going to be inside, if I'm not going to pay attention to that. And I really didn't, because you can't see it inside. You take it out, and it looks like a normal banana. It looks like this. But inside, actually, is completely rotten. This is okay, look. It's nice. It's not a problem to eat this. That's how that's done. That's how that was done. Every little bit helped. Like Metod Yerman, police officer, neighbor here stated, it's only adding points. It's only adding points.
Bananas you see right here. These are bananas that my mother purchased just 2 days later. Actually, the next day. Because that was filmed on the 25th, and this year's on the 27th. So you can see the date and time right there. You can see everything, and the other one too. I don't think I'm gonna see any more that kind of stuff, because every time they detect that I detect shit, it's gone from the menu. With walnuts, I have seen. She brought 2. Repeated all the stuff on torture, basically, when I was drugged up. She bought walnuts and had 2 packs. 1 pack she placed inside of the fridge, another one, however, she placed inside of the drawer. Now, I did go immediately and eat the one from the drawer, for which she told me when I was drugged up that I'm going to learn what the difference is between whatever is stored inside of the fridge and a cold and whatever is not. Whenever it's exposed to the humid, obviously it's going to fucking go bad, especially the walnut. That shit was poisonous as hell. Boy, their ears, it ringed inside of the ears again like insane. But that's not because it would be stored outside, because walnuts also don't go bad in 1 day or 2. But because she wanted to prove the fucking point, and I should see her as a good mommy. Really invested great amounts of effort to screw me up as much as possible. Banana so rotten that if you would eat this shit with the kind of stuff that I have, you would be with a cancer, you would have a real problems, and I did have, because I couldn't understand why every fucking time I ate banana, which are otherwise healthy for the heart also, I was instead experiencing problems. You must understand that eating rotten food, the cancer patients usually have a problem with the blood. And that actually translates into even problems with the heart. Something I had no clue whatsoever. I had no clue whatsoever about disease. But when I see this shit and when I recall these people, that kind of stuff, I'm going to go ahead and I will. What I was going to say is, in an environment like this, as far as this poison here, if I would suffer depression, if I would be depressed, if I would have real severe problems with it, I probably would go ahead and consume this shit. Because, you know, I was told, you must eat healthy food, you must eat this, you must eat that, but so many problems, on the other hand, they created to screw me up. You eat healthy food, you do this, you do that, but you're not allowed to go sleep and sleep on time and properly like a normal human being. You try to eat something normal, but guess what? It's a poison that is hidden somewhere and is waiting for you to consume. And as soon as you feel better, you go right back 2 weeks behind whatever you invested to get better from your cancer issues. Man, next to the chocolates, next to the cookies I ate, trust me, with this kind of shit, if this kind of shit would go long enough, probably I would eat this here too. That's why she positioned this stuff here.
No detectors, no motion detection, trigger detectors, anything like this. There is some there, but they were trying to portray me for this house right there. They were trying to portray me for that house right there. There's a house right in the opposite side of ours, and for this one here they had a tremendous fucking lights. There is one light flashing right there, but that's not it. They had another one, and they were trying to portray me the same thing. That's our house, by the way. They were trying to portray me the same thing with this here, this house here. This is where the motion detector also was triggered. There was nothing. Make no mistake, I am right here. What you see right now somehow, and it's exactly what I was told the case is going to be. It's going to be erased from your video. And today, when I was going through the videos, I haven't seen shit. What you see right now, it was all video recorded, yet they made the whole thing disappear. How is a mystery, but I've noticed that. So I went all around the house right now, in front of the house, all around the house, no motion detectors, anything whatsoever. And so it's filmed with the two cameras, one with infrared. So you have here right now, you have 1, 2, 3, for 5 houses for which none motion detector is triggered. The house where you see right now, that light right there, that's from the Bergers. They were the one, they insisted me that they gonna install these motion detectors because of me. So really because of me. Okay, so that I would not say that somebody's coming from their side or something like that. A horse shit, basically. And I am back. So that's the way this was. You can see the date, you can see the time, because I don't know how, but I do. On this phone, on one of the phones where it's showing January 1st, 2018, that's because there is no way you can transfer files, whatever you video record from this telephone. I have no idea what they have done to it, but every time I have to take the card out, basically SD card, because otherwise I cannot even transfer files. That's also part of the deal. That's how that stuff is being done. But otherwise, just for the record, you can make but a single step without being observed. Today, just for the record wise, just to keep this straight. But this is the time, and this is the date, and this is February the 26th. February the 26th, 2022. Okay, so you can see the time and you can see the date. I'm doing this. That's a reflector right there. I'm recording right now with exactly with infrared. With infrared filter removed from Android. That's an old Android I'm using, and I have removed this infrared filter, and that will give you like a really good idea. It's already getting dark now. That'll give you a really good idea of what exactly I'm talking about, what that looks like right here from porch, right? And right there, that's my room. So that gives you a very good idea about the reflector I am talking about. In a little bit, and you're gonna see one basically on a larger scale, but all the neighbors everywhere, from everywhere. Oh, there you go. That's a perfect combination of this motion detector powered lights that turn on as soon as somebody would be passing through. And this is a big ass scam. That definitely is a scam. I says, let me go out. Today is the 29th, and I'm using basically a micro, actually I'm using the infrared camera from which I have taken the IR filter out. This is camera, this is a regular Android, and so it gives a better view. Even that right now, oh there you go, a neighbor also has a they have this stuff since like 2017, and so that you can see what the hell goes on. So this will cover all this area at night time. Okay. And the same thing here with this house too.
As I go for a walk at 5 o'clock in the morning on January 25th, that's what that looks like. It looks like a second moon, and that's a Krka Pharmaceutical, by the way. And that moon right there, I'll tell you, when I sight this right out from the window of my room, and boy, it really feels like if somebody would be flashing inside of the room. The owner, however, told me under MK Ultra, because they tested this thing already before, it's going to be used to project the sight, the light, over the area, exactly across the field from the side of the city, so that people would not enter the property here and do harm to me. But then again, there was a whole set of other instances I encountered that followed up when this reflector appeared. It might come to you as a surprise, but it's located exactly about 300 yards from my room, from our house.
This light, when MK Ultra went on, was located right on that, whatever you want to say, that warehouse, whatever it is next door. Because this thing is brand new. They just came up with this stuff. But this light here, alike, the reflector alike, was located right there on that property right there. There's an orchestra here, but here, what the fuck is... There was a car here also, all kinds of stuff, but what is it with the camera? It does not... Okay, let's see this one more time. Okay, now I can see now it's recorded. Alright, with the date and time. This is with the modified software, but I'm still gonna use this one here. This is in the middle of the road, and when I pass through here, you would go toward the city. One truck left, or home this way. There is a reflector right there, but anyways, I noticed this thing here, and the guy that I met the same day, that was like maybe 3 days ago, 4 days ago, on Friday basically. He lives nearby here. He works for this infrastructure company, for the road and repair company. It's a Krka would be the name. And you know what they told me? They told me, you must record this, because if you're not gonna record this, right, if you're not gonna record this stuff, you're not gonna have any proofs, any proof at all, because you must record this, because if you're not gonna record this stuff, they're gonna fuck you. He said they're gonna fuck you anyways. Nobody is coming inside of the house through the canal, through the which is quite unusual statement I made, right? Because of something like this, through the tunnel nobody is coming through, because this shit is being used again through American news sites as soon as I did what I did. And I'm not sure whether I had Android turned on, the Wi-Fi on Android turned on when I filmed the attack, supposedly the attack. I'm not sure whether I had Android on or I did not have Wi-Fi on Android or not, but the news Americans brainwash me with is going to appear all over American. You're going to see one on the front page. Is exactly the one. I'm going to demonstrate you right now. Okay, so it's this. It's this shop here. I hope you have seen how the detectors, the lights turned on. It's this shop right there. He said he made a tunnel all the way down there next to whatever installation is over there underground that runs. Yeah, and he was really aggressive about it. When he was making his crazy statements. They had people here working here, and they claim with this paranoia that they went completely insane. It's raining, and I'm gonna turn this sideways. It's very difficult to turn the camera on when it's raining badly. There's only a light at the Peterlin residence that is on, but as soon as I'm gonna approach from this distance, yep. Maybe it's not turning on because it's raining. Fish, beautiful. Okay, got the same results here. All right, let's head back. It appeared as if guy wanted to talk to me about something, then he speed away real fast. Ah, there you go. There is a light that turned on. And there is another one that turned on itself right there. So I don't know. Okay. Today is, well, today is today is, you know, they used to bring the chocolates from this company, pharmaceutical company, that look like this. And even for those chocolates they give to the parents, to the sister, who afterwards gave them to me, even for that shit, they talked to me about how I'm not worthy, how I was not worthy and stuff like this. This is from Krka Pharmaceutical. Okay, that's okay, that's all good. Oh, here, really rainy, really rainy. Today is, I mentioned, February 11, 2022, and it's just about almost 7 p.m. Raining. It's raining, and my watch, let me demonstrate to you. They screwed one completely. Oh. That looks like this. It says Friday 9 2nd 12 already and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
motion detector story is a bunch of horse shit. You can see this now. I'm sure you can see it. The time 9:20. Actually, my watch is a little forward, but about 5 minutes faster. What's going on here with this? Than what it should be, but I do have an audio recorder on, so I'm gonna ask somebody what time it is and stuff like this. This is bullshit. It's a bunch of horse shit about the motion detectors and such. It's really not valid, this stuff. Every time I would approach, they trigger the motion detectors.
Stress, since I did mention that other light they have used with idea to trigger from me, in me I should say, a theory about the tunnels under the house. I'm just gonna go ahead and measure you exact distance to I was wrong. That's actually 600 meters distance. Okay, a little bit more than half a kilometer in direction of the city. You can't but pass this place here. Okay, this light so strong that it covers entire field here, but really not to protect me from somebody accessing this property from the side of the side of the city. It's actually some other stuff. If somebody was to you know, this here behind this house, this street behind, this is just not difficult to understand who, where, and how. All through, I must say, the whole village was involved in this stuff, and beyond here, from around and so on. So, you know, just clarifying these issues. And I was gonna go and accelerate. Pay attention to this lights. Again, ding, they go off. I was gonna accelerate this video. You were able to see those detectors right there. Triggered the lights. They turned themselves off. This is what I'm not supposed to do, but you can see that they're playing with these lights. I did not even take time so that I would go and record motion detectors. Look at that. Actually, that's, I'm not sure, that maybe is from the car or whatever. That's probably from the car. But just by doing this video, because I don't record, I did not record, I didn't pay any attention to this stuff. This is February 18. Definitely not when I was driving this thing. Yeah, I'm coming from the village in the opposite side of the direction back home. Just basically by doing this video, which I already have presented, used car 4 times, and found oil all over under the car, and already explained exactly who was behind this crime. Just by doing this video, you can see that they're playing with these lights. Every time when I go next to it, it's always the lights go on and off, on and off. Look, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm not disturbed. I don't care about this stuff. It doesn't matter to me at all. But I'm disturbed in respect to physical torture they engaged in. I am respect to mental hospital Ljubljana Polje, psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje, where I was institutionalized, tortured by the neighbors, tortured by the psychiatrists, tortured by the police, on behalf and by the politicians, by the business people, never apologized for that matter. And I would not even accept the apology, to make myself clear, under no circumstances, not from the police, not from the state people, not from anyone. Because what you see here, I shouldn't be even doing this stuff. That's their job. That's not my job to do. Their job. And pretty much why I recorded this video. I really do not care about lights turning on, lights turning off, whatever they're doing. And I also care about the stuff that goes on at night here, inside of this very house, where people are coming inside. That's the stuff I do care about. That's the stuff that is disturbing. I was deprived severely of the sleep. This isn't just cancer related stuff that as a consequence will even leave you with pain, with a cardiac problem. But it's the sleep deprivation that was used to further the problems. In this case, it was a sleep deprivation that was in fact used to push forward the issues, a theft of time, a denial of the right to go to the hospital, be examined like other people are, and so on. That's the kind of stuff that's being used in this case to push forward the theory about the tunnel under the house, which does not exist. Just so some way, somehow, psychiatrists, politicians would get it right. That's a Queen Elizabeth with Milan Kucan, and then here you can see George Bush with Vladimir Putin, Milan Kucan, and Dernoshek. That was another Udba individual, another garbage.